welcome Google Cloud Vice President and General Manager, Data Cloud, Andi Gutmans.
Thank you very much. It's great to be back at Next. Yesterday, Thomas showed you our vision for the Agentic Enterprise. He showed you a world where your business isn't just a series of apps, but a single harmonious system. And at the heart of that system, the very thing that gives an agent the ability to perceive, reason, and act is data. To make these agents work, to make them truly incredible, we need to completely flip the script on how we think about data powering AI. Because there are three fundamental shifts happening right now. First, we're moving from human scale to agent scale. That is a moment of unleashing human potential. Practitioners are moving from being individual contributors to being orchestrators of agents, which is giving them superpowers. But it also means we face an order of magnitude more workloads as agents monitor and operate your business around the clock at digital speed. Second is a shift from reactive intelligence to proactive action. Previously, we built reactive architectures to tell us what happened yesterday, or at minimum, try to forecast from the past and present. But agents can be proactive and can take action on our behalf. They can shape the future. In the agentic era, it's not enough to report that an item is out of stock. The agent needs to find an alternative option, reroute the shipment, and save the sale without the customer even noticing. Your agents must act on your behalf and do so accurately. Now, third, we're moving from data to knowledge. It's not just about being able to discover and query your data. It's critical to elevate this data to knowledge with a flywheel that understands the relationships between data assets, the semantics and shape of the data, and how the data is commonly used. For example, it needs to be able to tell that how revenue is being referred to, based on the person and context without guesswork. You also need to be able to activate all of your data, including the 90% of dark data, trapped in unstructured formats like contracts, product specifications, emails, images, and videos. This is data that most people to date have found to be inaccessible. And without a strong understanding of the overall data state, both structured and unstructured, you don't have the quality and trust to activate agents on behalf of your business at scale. Now, many vendors talk about their data platforms as a system of intelligence. But to be honest, in my opinion, those are the last generation data platform. A system of intelligence is reactive. It waits for a human to ask a question. Or it sits as a prediction on a forecasting model, still waiting for a human to act on it. In the agentic era, we don't believe that's enough. The goal is no longer to just know. The goal is to take action. And so you need a system that is going to be proactive, can operate on your behalf, one that allows an agent to drive outcomes, not just to deliver insights and predictions. What you need is a system of action. Now, we've been busy building an agentic data cloud to fulfill the need of a system of action. Our agentic data cloud has a few key characteristics. First, Google's market-leading AI is built into the data platform up and down the stack. Second, we're building a knowledge flywheel, which enables you to get the quality and trust that you need to be successful in the agentic era. And third, it has to be open and flexible, enabling you to activate all of your data with AI, whether it's hosted on Google Cloud or not. And lastly, as you reach agent scale, it is critical that the platform includes another step up in security, scalability, reliability, and price performance. And so we're able to uniquely deliver on agent scale given our agentic data cloud is built on Google's differentiated infrastructure that we have continued to evolve for the agentic era. Now, the market is voting with its feet. We've seen our AI-powered data migration services translate over 1 billion queries, more than doubling year over year as companies moved off those last generation data platforms. We've seen over 30 times year over year growth in BigQuery data processed by Gemini as companies activate their data for the agentic era. American Express, as an example, is making a major transformation, moving a core on-premises data warehouse and hundreds of production applications to BigQuery. By further unifying their data and compute, they're advancing AI-driven initiatives and enabling agentic commerce. Or consider Macari. They're deploying autonomous agents to handle 38% of customer inquiries. By unifying Spanner and BigQuery, they turned a slow support process into a dynamic reasoning engine that resolves questions in just seconds. And lastly, Virgin Voyages. They've already deployed over 1,000 specialized AI agents. Their flagship agent, Ruby, cuts mass itinerary rebooking from 6 hours to 11 minutes. Let's take a look at how the world's most iconic brands are activating their data to automate the future.
Pager Health is a connected healthcare platform, and our goal is to simplify the healthcare journey.
At UKG, we provide a solution that unifies HR, workforce management, and pay.
Geographically, we're the largest pediatric health system in the world.
Morrisons is one of the UK's largest supermarkets. We are a home improvement retailer. Lowe's has been around for over 100 years.
Palo Alto Networks is a global cybersecurity leader.
We decided that Google Cloud was the right partner for us. We've got GKE running our core, Cloud SQL running transactional, BigQuery running analytics, and then enabling personalized experiences.
Spanner is like a Swiss Army knife. All our critical customer workflows are built on top of it.
BigQuery is the core. I call it data ocean because it's so big now.
Gemini is beautifully integrated into the Google stack and does an amazing job at translating the user input into a form that we need.
We chose AlloyDB for our transactional data solution and BigQuery for our analytical data store. We got 2 times the speed in the CPU. We were able to scale at a rate that supported our largest customers.
Now you have a connected ecosystem of this data for you to harvest practically near real time and provide insights.
When that all comes together, for us, it was like going from treading water to jumping in a speedboat.
It's just amazing how these customers and many of you are driving huge amount of innovation on Google. So what are these organizations doing differently? They certainly aren't using these so-called modern data stacks. These stacks, the same architecture some of you are running right now, weren't built for this agentic era. They break at agent scale and have a number of structural issues. First, you have the walled garden. Vendors demand you to move all of your siloed lakehouse, all your data into these siloed lakehouses to get intelligence. But moving data doesn't just create data silos, it actually fractures security. When your open data is locked away in a walled garden and you try to step out, your governance perimeter dissolves, your access control, your identity management, and your lineage gets left behind. Second, you have the trust gap. Legacy tools give you catalogs that are a technical list of data and metadata, but agents don't need a list. They need rich context. They need to understand not just where the data lives, but what it means, the relationship between the data, and how it's actually being accessed. So without best-in-class AI and knowledge, an agent is just acting on raw noise. And when an agent acts without understanding, it makes mistakes you can't afford. Third is the time factor. Agents need to respond at the speed of business. We're talking about real-time action. To have sound judgment, an agent needs to reason over everything, not only your analytical history, but also your operational reality. And to take action, it needs to touch those operational systems in real time, not just a data lake. AI agents must operate in fast and trusted reasoning loops. Legacy stacks break this loop. They separate the thinking from the doing. And then last but not least, the cost spiral. Autonomous agents process data at a volume and frequency we've never seen before. If you scale your agents on a fragmented stack, your costs will explode. At agent scale, your AI shouldn't be a financial liability. It should be your greatest asset. Bolted-on architectures were never designed to be a unified, hyper-optimized system. They're a patchwork where no single provider actually owns the outcome for you. So if you think about other hyperscalers, they own the infrastructure, but they're renting the models. AI labs own the models, and they rent the infrastructure. And between them sit the specialized data providers that have to rent both the infrastructure and the models. And so these organizations cannot hyper-optimize the full stack. This fragmentation is fatal for agents. It breaks security, and it breaks your economics. So to build a true system of action, the model, the engine, and the chip must share a single trusted boundary without any patchwork. Now let me double-click a bit more on the Agentic Data Cloud architecture. As I previously mentioned, an Agentic Data Cloud is a system of action. It evolves your data foundation from a static repository into a dynamic reasoning engine. It closes the gap for agents between thinking and doing, merging your analytical insights with transactional power in one seamless closed loop. And it moves beyond the dashboard to a world where your data doesn't just tell you there's a problem, but it actually proactively fixes it. Now, the Agentic Data Cloud has to meet 3 key requirements. First, it has to be AI native. Market-leading AI needs to be integrated into every layer, from the hardware to the software. It's the only way to process complex reasoning in real time without cost spiraling. Second, it must be super flexible. It needs to tear down those walled gardens, giving your agents the freedom to activate data across any cloud, any format, without forcing you into a multi-year modernization project you just don't have time for and can't afford. And last but not least, it has to be trusted. The bridge between intelligence and action is trust. You can't allow an agent to execute a transaction unless it is grounded in your business reality. So today we're excited to introduce the world's first Agentic Data Cloud. Now we're the only provider that can deliver this today. Why? Because we didn't just bundle other providers' pieces. We're harmonizing the full stack, from our market-leading AI infrastructure, our AI hypercomputer, our models, including Gemini, to our differentiated data systems, benefiting from all of Google's cross-company innovation. Now, to tell you more about the product breakthroughs we're launching today to power this system, please welcome Yasmeen Ahmad.
Andi just outlined the architecture for a system of action. But what makes it real? Well, we're delivering it by rewiring the full stack across 3 areas. First, trusted context. Second, intent-driven engineering. And third, a borderless data cloud. So let's start with trusted context. Think about the reality of building agents today. Enterprises are pointing powerful autonomous agents at massive raw data lakes, expecting them to just figure it out. That's a recipe for disaster. An agent looking at raw data is flying blind. It doesn't have your business intuition. It's going to guess. So what's the missing piece? Well, AI requires context. But what exactly is context? Context is the unwritten rulebook of your enterprise. It's knowing that when you say net revenue, it excludes returns. Or when you're looking at a contract and there's a buried clause on page 40, that clause needs to reroute your supply chain. So let's play this out. If you're just building one agent, Context is easy. You handcraft a prompt or an instruction, it's manageable. But the future isn't one agent, it's a million agents. Imagine a million agents operating across finance, legal, supply chain. Say you change the definition of active user. What do? You manually have to rewrite the hand-coded context and test a million agents. Your overhead, operational overhead doesn't just grow, it explodes. We call this the 1 million agent problem, and we're ending it today. To scale agents safely, you need a universal context engine. So I introduced to you today the knowledge catalog. It's the context engine for your entire enterprise. So let's take a look at how it works. The knowledge catalog acts as the brain of your enterprise by executing on 3 critical functions. First, aggregation. Second, enrichment. And third, search. Let's talk aggregation. To build true context, you actually have to bring together context from everywhere. We aggregate native context across Google and partner data stores, semantic models, third-party catalogs, and metadata from platforms like Palantir, Salesforce, SAP, ServiceNow, and Workday. For example, leveraging our Lakehouse, your SAP data products are automatically mapped to the knowledge catalog as natively as BigQuery tables. Now you can use them with the same ease. You get access to both the data and context. For Google sources, we are completely automating how you define business logic. Today, we are launching the new LookML agent. It autonomously reads your strategy documents, your spreadsheets, and instantly generates business-ready semantics. And we are announcing BigQuery measures, allowing you to embed that exact same business math natively into the data platform. The knowledge catalog acts as the ultimate aggregator, performing critical disambiguation, resolving conflicting definitions across your enterprise so agents can reason through a single governed lens. Okay, second, enrichment. So data alone isn't enough. You must generate meaning. The knowledge catalog automatically generates metadata and infers deep relationships. But it doesn't just do this once. We are delivering continuous enrichment because your business is a living organism. The knowledge catalog analyzes usage logs across your entire organization and profiles your data behind the scenes. It doesn't just know what your data is, it's continuously learning how your enterprise uses your data. And this continuous enrichment also extends to the hardest problem in data, your unstructured data. For decades, unstructured data has been a black hole. Generative AI can read the text, but without a schema, it completely misses the big picture. Today, the moment a file lands in Google Cloud, our new smart storage instantly kicks in, automatically tagging and enriching images and soon PDF objects with meaning. In addition, the knowledge catalog identifies useful collections of unstructured data and uses Gemini to automatically generate the missing schemas, mapping complex relationships so your AI is no longer flying blind. And third, search and retrieval. Creating a massive context layer is great, but in the agentic era, search is a new query path. When autonomous agents are working on your behalf, they are iterating incredibly fast. They have to be able to retrieve the right context at lightning speed. But simply finding the data isn't the hardest problem anymore. The hardest problems at enterprise scale are speed, relevance, global reach, and absolute security. To solve this, the knowledge catalog utilizes a sophisticated hybrid search stack built on many years of Google innovation, including technologies used by Google Search. To guarantee relevance, we combine semantic and lexical matching while using intelligent machine learning-based re-ranking to guarantee that the absolute most relevant context is surfaced to the agent in real time. And to guarantee trust, we are delivering access control-aware search. The knowledge catalog enforces your security permissions natively. Agents can only retrieve and act on the assets that they are explicitly authorized to see. This high precision infrastructure empowers our knowledge catalog to deconstruct complex agent requests into precise context searches, so agents can generate high-trust answers. This is total security, high-precision relevance at limitless scale. So take Bloomberg Media. They wanted their internal teams to query a massive data lake in plain English and create new narratives. They used the knowledge catalog to unify enterprise metadata and business semantics and successfully launched their data access AI agent. The result? Complex data instantly becomes high-fidelity narratives to inform their business team's decisions. With trusted context established, we now must reinvent how work actually gets done. This brings us to pillar 2, intent-driven engineering. We're moving from human scale to agent scale. We're completely changing what it means to be a data practitioner. We're elevating the role of data practitioners from individual contributors to master orchestrators. Think about the reality today. Data experts are brilliant, but they're trapped acting as data plumbers. To get just one model into the real world, they have to manually wrangle messy data, fight for governance approvals, hand code features, and wrestle with brittle pipelines. It's an exhausting, repetitive task. Today, we are launching the Google Cloud Data Agent Kit. We aren't forcing you into a new notebook or IDE. We are meeting practitioners exactly where they are. The Data Agent Kit brings our unique data, tools, and skills to any environment, whether that's VS Code, Claude Code, Codex, or Gemini CLI. Our kit equips your teams with 3 foundational components. First, agentic skills. These are the native instructions for Google's Agentic Data Cloud. It means your model knows exactly how to build native BigQuery pipelines or tune a Spark job on our Lightning engine. Second is MCP servers and tools. These provide the ability to actually connect to our data platforms. So your AI has the ability to read tables, write transactions, and execute the work. And third is deep plugins and extensions. These customize your everyday environment like VS Code to be a high-fidelity agentic environment. Our Data Agent Kit operates on one simple principle, intent-driven engineering. You simply define what you want to build, and the kit arms your AI with the exact skills and tools it needs to generate structural plans, write optimized code, and deploy it. But this revolution isn't just for data practitioners. We're also completely transforming the experience for business users. First, we have made conversational analytics profoundly smarter, embedding it natively across Looker, BigQuery, AlloyDB, Cloud SQL, and Spanner. It doesn't just translate text to SQL, it autonomously hunts down the exact right tables across your entire estate and applies correct filters instantly. It goes far beyond basic queries. A business user can simply ask for the key drivers behind a metric, and the agent executes the machine learning and AI models in the background. It also reasons across your structured data and unstructured files simultaneously and gives you the exact right answers. And what's more, you can now seamlessly publish these custom conversational agents to Gemini Enterprise. So your executives and business leaders can chat directly with live enterprise data in a familiar everyday interface. So no more waiting weeks for a data team to build a dashboard. Take Interclinica. In their mission to make private healthcare more accessible to the vast majority of the population in Chile, they needed immediate action on the clinical floor, not just another dashboard. So they built Sophia. It's a custom AI chat experience powered by conversational analytics. Now, a frontline nurse simply opens a chat on their phone and asks for bed occupancy levels. But it goes further than that. If occupancy crosses 90%, the agent autonomously alerts hospital leadership every 30 minutes. That's days of manual analysis reduced to minutes of conversation. They are reallocating 150 hours of routine tasks into high-value strategic work weekly. This isn't just an insight, it's a system of action. Finally, for your hardest, most strategic problems, we are bringing unprecedented reasoning power to the enterprise. You've seen the magic of our deep research agent synthesizing the entire public web. Well, now imagine pointing that exact same intelligence at your secure internal enterprise data. Enabled flawlessly by the knowledge catalog, it safely and proactively conducts multi-layered investigations across the web, thousands of internal documents, and your analytical platform BigQuery and your BI layer. It doesn't just create a chart. Our deep research agent returns a comprehensive, deeply researched answer to your hardest business questions. So let's see this in action. To show us the power of trusted context and conversational analytics, please welcome Sean Zinsmeister.
Hey everyone, today I'm playing the role of the head of operations for a global robotics company. Right before I came out, I received a unique alert from what our developers are calling our Agentic data experience. And this isn't just a standard notification, it's a proactive insight into a sudden 40% spike in order cancellations. So checking the email, the agent has already deep dived on our data, analyzing historical sales patterns and correlating them with our live operational metrics. The agent has created a brief summary with a link to the data agent for further investigation, so let's take a look. All right, so the agents kicked off this conversational thread with a helpful summary analysis and visualization of the root cause. It's also offering a hypothesis and action to understand the products most affected and their current ETD. Let's select this to drill deeper. Now, as the agent processes this, it's using our knowledge catalog to understand jargon like ETD for estimated time to delivery. With that context, the agent now orchestrates its sub-agents. It queries our operational database, AllyDB, for ad hoc sales insights, and to BigQuery for our most popular products historically. Awesome. And by joining the two, it instantly pinpoints the most affected products. Okay, we finished our analysis, but it doesn't stop here. It's analyzed the logistics data in BigQuery for those affected products and found a common thread. They're all routed through our Boston distribution hub. So now, the agent is prompting me to investigate our Boston area distribution, so we'll follow that recommendation right now. The agent is able to tap into our roads management insights, a Google Earth AI dataset, directly in BigQuery. Here's a visualization of the map with historical live traffic, showing a complete historical and live model of road conditions fed by real-time disruptions and events. This allows our agent to spot major traffic impacting our warehouse route. So based on this analysis, the agent isn't just giving me data, it's recommending we take action to reroute shipping from the Boston hub to a new path after analyzing real-time traffic and street imagery for a safer route. That's the right call to help us notify people affected. But so how did we get this insight? You can run machine learning or AI models on imagery of maps. In fact, here's an example with Street View right here. All right. Let's now close the loop by creating a new proactive agent to monitor the traffic patterns so the agent will notify us when traffic patterns improve. All right, so we've got our agentic workflow all set up. Go ahead and accept that. This looks good to me. There you go. Multiple autonomous agents operating at the speed of business. One handled the immediate crisis. The second one is now our digital sentry, watching the data and waiting for the right moment to restore efficiency. It's intuitive, instant, and proactive. From an autonomous alert to an informed business decision in minutes. That is the power of an agentic data cloud. Thanks. Back to you, Yasmeen.
You have the context, you have the agent, so now let's address the biggest and longest running debate. Where should your data reside? The reality is your data lives everywhere. Google, AWS, Azure, and across your applications. This brings us to pillar 3, borderless data. Some vendors sell you the dream of an open lakehouse, but the second you try to use your own data outside of their compute engine, they lock it inside their proprietary catalog. They hold your data hostage just to force you to rent their platform and their infrastructure. That approach is broken. Today, we are breaking down the walls and introducing the cross-cloud lakehouse. Built entirely on the open Apache Iceberg standard and leveraging our cross-cloud interconnect, it is completely borderless. Instead of forcing you to jump through complex networking hurdles or paying massive egress fees, we deliver low latency, direct connectivity to AWS and Azure. But across those cloud environments, your data also lives in multiple different data platforms. If your agents need to join data across these data platforms, they just should. We're ending the era of proprietary data and catalogs. Powered by the open Iceberg REST catalog, we are launching comprehensive bidirectional read federation. Starting today, we can natively read directly from Databricks Unity catalog on Amazon S3. And for a truly universal view, we are adding read federation for Snowflake Polaris and AWS Glue data catalog on Amazon S3. And this freedom extends beyond just your data platforms. No matter where your data lives, from operational systems, traditional systems, to applications in our partner ecosystem, we provide the trusted context and seamless connectivity your agents need to take action. We treat your data as yours, not ours. Take WPP. They're deploying AI agents to reason across a massive distributed network of client data. But they realize something. If your data is trapped behind cloud boundaries, your AI is trapped also. By adopting our cross-cloud lakehouse, they are eliminating those borders. Their agents now query and act seamlessly across a unified data fabric. It doesn't matter where the data physically lives. This is total autonomy across any cloud. But a borderless foundation cannot stop at analytical systems. It has to bridge to your operational systems. Traditional systems force you to build slow, brittle ETL pipelines between your databases and your analytical platforms. Today, we are closing the gap between historical insight and real-time action with Lakehouse Federation for AlloyDB. You get true zero ETL synchronization, no pipelines, and no delays. Your agents can now see deep analytical history and live operational transactions in the exact same second, empowering your agents to act in real time. And finally, We are taking this operational freedom to the absolute limit. We announced AlloyDB Omni, our Postgres database, everywhere just 3 years ago. Today, we are doing the near impossible. We're enabling Google's native operational database to operate everywhere. I'm thrilled to announce Spanner Omni. Google Spanner is legendary. In our data centers, it operates on atomic wall clocks to guarantee perfect global consistency at a scale that shatters normal databases. And now we are unchaining the core engine of the most scalable, multi-model database on the planet. You can run it anywhere, across multiple clouds, on premises, or even on your laptop. And finally, to make all of this work, there is a need for massive scale and compelling economics. Your engines need a massive step up in performance so models aren't starved and transformations don't break the bank. Today, we are launching 4 major performance breakthroughs. First, our managed service for Apache Spark and serverless mode is GA. It's powered by our Lightning engine. No config, it's vectorized and outperforms standard Apache Spark by up to 5-fold. Second, our enhanced Google Cloud Managed Lustre now delivers a staggering throughput of up to 10 terabytes per second, completely eliminating I/O bottlenecks for your most demanding AI workloads. Third, Bigtable now supports an in-memory tier that delivers sub-second read latency. You no longer have to bowl a separate cache onto your database just to get real-time speeds. And fourth, BigQuery Fluid Scaling enables your infrastructure to cost-effectively scale with your operations, scaling up instantly when agents act and scaling back when they don't. No manual sizing required. We give you the trusted context, we give you the agentic experience, we give you the borderless lakehouse. This is how you build a system of action. We've shown you the architecture, now we want to show you the reality. To take us from insight to action, please welcome Gabe Weiss.
Hey folks. So earlier you saw how a timely alert from a proactive agent enabled a head of operations to make a critical shift in logistics in minutes. Bet you thought that whole proactive agent tracking order cancellations was hand-waved, didn't you? Well, today, as the lead engineer of that same company, I'm going to recreate the agent in front of you, and quickly, because I've only got about 5 minutes for the demo. So to address the problem, we need to do 2 things. First, we need a real-time operational dashboard, so our head of ops can track that situation live. And second, a conversational agent to find out why this is happening so that we can prevent it from reoccurring. Our data is complex and multi-cloud. Our historical supply chain and logistics data is managed by Databricks on AWS using iceberg tables, which I can show you here in our Lakehouse bucket. This includes years of shipment records, supplier lead times, and our carrier's performance. Our core analytics lives in BigQuery, and the live e-commerce data in AlloyDB. Building dashboards and modifying the semantic layer has never been easier. Our head of ops needs immediate visibility with historical context. So let's build. And here I'm going to absolutely be cut pasting because no one actually wants to see me typing live. And I'm going to say to the existing LookML project model, please add a measure to calculate order cancellations. Now the LookML project already had the BQ and AlloyDB data, but we needed to add a measure for the order cancellations because we've never actually tracked that within this context. Okay, cool. And now that we've got that, I can next prompt for enhance the existing Business Pulse dashboard with order cancellation analytics. Include an overview over time, as well as meaningful granular insights, for example, by supplier. Now, once we had that unified view, I could prompt the agent to enhance our already existing dashboard to also monitor the orders in real time. And in just moments, I have built and deployed a dashboard to monitor this in real time. You can see down here our order cancellations. So now we can see what's happening, but our research agent needs to understand why. To do that, it needs to understand the relationships between all our data points and codify our key business logic. So back into Gemini, now I can prompt it to create a graph from our unified data view. This traverses and creates broader relationships in the data using the Knowledge Catalog API. Now, I'm not going to lie to you, this does take a bit longer than we have in the demo. So we've already generated that graph. But what I can do is show you a visualization of that right here within my IDE. For example, I can see the relationship between our transactions date and our marketing campaigns. OK, so now our agent has the context it needs about our data. The final step, let's create the proactive agent that actually uses the graph. I will prompt to monitor the order cancellation rate. If it spikes over 40%, use the graph model to perform a root cause analysis and send the findings to our head of operations via Gmail. Behind the scenes, the agent sets up a monitoring pipeline, and this pipeline continuously watches for anomalies and triggers an action when an anomaly is detected. In this case, that email that you saw Sean get as our head of operations. And just like he showed you before, now in our workflows page, you can see our new agent, the proactive anomaly detector, is here and taking actions. The agent is armed not just with data, but the intelligence to understand it. Using an agentic workflow right from my Gemini-powered IDE, we built two solutions: a real-time governed dashboard for immediate visibility, and a proactive research agent that provides deep, automated insights, which notified our head of operations as soon as it detected that problem. That is the power of an agentic data cloud. Thanks. Back to you, Andy.
Thank you, Gabe. Now that's the power of a unified system. But the true test of any architecture comes from real-world use cases. To understand what it takes to move an enterprise from human scale to agent scale, I'm honored to sit down with a leader who's been on that journey. Please welcome Ignacio Garcia, Business CTO and Group AI Director from Vodafone. Hi, Ignacio.
Hi.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
It's my pleasure, yeah.
So before we get started, it'd be great to just introduce Vodafone. I think most people here know it, but you can probably talk a bit about the current state and also your role at Vodafone.
Very good. Vodafone is a telecommunication company. We have more than 300 million customers. We operate in three continents, multiple different countries, languages. We have fixed, we have mobile, we have television, we have IoT, one of the largest IoT platforms in the world, with hundreds of millions of connections. We do fintechs in Africa. So we're probably the largest fintechs in Africa with 90 million customers. So very diverse portfolio, multiple languages, multiple countries.
So a lot of scale.
Yeah.
And you've set a number of challenging goals for Vodafone. Can you explain kind of what has been your vision and what's the kind of foundation that you needed to be on this agentic AI journey?
We have embraced AI as the core of serving our customers. So I will talk about three different pillars: customer, simplicity, and growth. And I will explain a bit what we're doing. But we're very ambitious. If we talk about money as a proxy, in the next 2 years, we will be delivering net benefits for the company with figures that start with a B. And we have already achieved hundreds of millions on the benefit for the company with our transformation. But it's not about the money. It's really about changing and serving our customers. So if we go with our customers at the center, I will give you two main examples. The example number one will be our customer services. So we have created a proposition where we say, ask once. Our customers only need to ask Vodafone once. And to power that, we have three agentic systems that we have a scale. And as I say, is complex. One of them is taking the calls from our customers in different languages, and is already resolving 70% of the queries that they have. Like, for example, billing questions that they may have. if you think on that, and we will be talking later on the challenges, imagine how many backend systems with how many different data architectures you have to be able to provide the services in this agentic solution to respond and resolve properly the queries. This will be one. Then we have something we call super agent, another thing that we help our physical agents to have all the information in their hands and serve better the customers. And the results are impressive. So calls that are served by our agents using super agents get 60% better response in the survey from the customer. So you can see that in that. Then on the simplicity side, network is super important. We are in a journey to become fully autonomous in our network. And this has a massive impact on everything, on consumption of electricity, on how well we can serve our customers, and availability of our services. And it's a big challenge, so it's step by step. That will be one, but we are really simplifying the whole company. How we do procurement, how we do the RFPs, and how we buy is also being completely agenticized, or how we do selling. So this is the second bit. If we go to the growth area, I can just pick up the last two things that we have done. And yesterday we announced with you that we are creating the first agent for our SOHO and SME middle market in Europe. This agent will be an assistant or a concierge that will answer for them. This is true innovation, true growth, serving a very important market segment in Europe. And the other one is our security SOC, pure AI-led security that we are also offering in that market. So customer simplicity and growth, and we're touching every area on the billions of real benefits, and we are in the journey.
That's awesome. So you're very busy.
Yeah.
But you're mentioning like you have data silos,
correct,
right? System sprawl and so on. So what did you need from the data foundation to actually enable you?
We need to be able to break the silos, and we started with the data journey very early, and hence that's with you as a partner, and that's probably one of the reasons why we have been able to actually bring benefits. But look, if you take the Toby example that was given, the one that is getting 60 million calls a month and resolving 70% of the customers, imagine how many different systems we have, billing systems, OSS systems, customer service systems that you need to actually integrate to be able to respond and to resolve and to actually give actions into that. So getting that data layer, breaking the silos is super important and is really at the center of everything that we do. Unstructured data is the next problem. So we were very good in our journey. We started in 2008 in BigQuery. We with you create data injections at the scale because of the volumes that we have, semantic layers to simplify the data and to get interpretation. And yeah, it's a problem on the petabytes of data in our data lake, and it's a problem of multiple languages, multiple different data systems.
So just kind of looking at, into the future, we've talked about a lot of things in Agentic Data Cloud. Anything specific that caught your attention?
Well, I was discussing that with you. The fact that you can go, we operate also in an environment where we are really truly multi-cloud. And if you add the SaaS system, then it's multi-cloud on the hyperscalers, plus all the other SaaS applications, your SAP, your Salesforce, your ServiceNow, and all the other things that we need to use to run our enterprise. Our agentic systems are not in a single area. If you are really, truly changing the world, you need to communicate and move workflows across the different bits. And the fact that I don't have to replicate the data, I don't have to pay massive egress costs, I will have access technically, it can be a truly game changer. So we will need to discuss more on how do we embed them into our data journey. But it's a never-ending journey, that's the reality. We are moving from single applications to really agentics, and also to have security layers, to break the data, to make sure that the data is available in the right time with the right quality is fundamental. The top layer will not work if your data is broken.
Well, we're looking forward to partnering with you going forward, and keep on pushing us on feature requests, and we'll keep on innovating on your behalf.
You are a great partner. Many thanks.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. So that's what the future looks like. It's not just theoretical. We have customers running this in production right now. Now, we've shown you the flexibility to activate your data anywhere. We've shown you the trust to ground agents in truth. And we've shown you our AI-native power to act in the moment. We're here to tell you today that the era of passive intelligence is over. The future belongs to the system of action. You have the data, you have the models, and now with the Agentic Data Cloud, you have the architecture that can connect them and lead the most exciting, transformative moment in technology since the introduction of the internet. So I'll end with some simple but very important questions for you to think about as you leave. Is your data ready? Is your data platform ready? Will you build an assistant that just answers questions, which I call the Gen 1? Or are you actually going to build agents that are proactive, that can take action on your behalf? The choice is yours. We're, of course, here to build it with you. Thank you so much, and have a great rest of the next.